So I've come back out for another investigation. Obviously, as we can see, the nights are cutting a lot later now. It's about 9:30 here. So there's a good chance I might still be here when it's still light. I think it's going to drag on a while. It's a beautiful, still evening. There's not much wind, even though the sea has been lifted for a few days, so at least there isn't any wind carrying. The sea hasn't been brought in by strong winds off the North Sea. So yeah, I'm gonna get over to my normal spot. Really nice view of it now. And set some equipment up and maybe just have 45 minutes here. I haven't been since my last visit where I recorded all of that activity with the spirit balls and with the REM pod, the EMF meter over here on this wall there, just below that main window. And then you can make out the two gravestones there in the corner as well, just over here where one of the spirit balls got flicked off twice. So yeah, like we say, beautiful view. I've never done any investigations along any of these other areas. But it looks like there's definitely some places to explore and try to record some activity. Absolutely beautiful place though. Yeah, this just is like, it just... nervous. Yeah, it just feels, as soon as I come in this area, it just feels a lot denser straight away. So I've never had any activity in this area here. Obviously over here, there has been activity. Straight away I can feel a chill just coming in here. Spirit balls thrown off here twice. Feel it straight away. Like just running through me. And over here, when I put equipment down in this little doorway here, there's never been any activity. Likewise on here, nothing. And here, nothing. Oddly enough, here the REM pod has been triggered loads on a really still night, but even stood here, it feels like there is a slight breeze, so I don't think it's going to be a good night for the REM pod. And yeah, where did I usually put the EMF meter just here. That's like a nice little place just to rest it in here. And then again, up here, there's a couple of places just to recess the spirit balls as well. And one time, one was thrown off from here. I think twice it happened from here. So, and yes, when I caught that thing on film, I was stood over here and I had the spirit box, the radio, and I was pretty much stood here, facing over here. And it appeared there was those things that trailed up, and then a face seemed to move in focus and then drift out. Now, I did initially think it might have been, well, initially, many months later, even actually when I started to think what else could it be, the thought did occur to me a couple of weeks ago that it might have just been an artifact of the brickwork and the GoPro struggling to pick the light up, but I did have the GoPro light on. And then I thought maybe it was these on the ground, but it couldn't have been because it was probably around that sort of height. So we're talking it was 4 to 5 feet off the ground, and I wasn't angling the GoPro down like this. I did have the GoPro, the spirit box was like this, and I was holding it like this. And it was around about here that the face appeared, and then those things trailed up like this. So I don't think it was anything down on the ground that was like being poorly picked up by the GoPro lens. Okay, right, well, I'm going to get started. I'm going to get set up. Okay, so I'm set up. I've decided to pretty much stick with what I normally do, except I've got 1, 2, 3 spirit balls over here. There's one over there, and then there's 2 up there. And where did I put the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's it. And yeah, and the EMF meter is in the same place. So this will be an interesting test tonight, because I'm pretty much as certain as I can be that that is not faulted. I have turned it on and left it around different parts of my home, just in the front room away from electrical equipment, and it has just sat there as happy as anything, just on that single green light. And then when I place it near electrical equipment, plugs and things like that, stuff like that, where I've got TVs plugged in, that type of stuff, it has triggered. So it definitely appears to be working reliably, which does really suggest that there might well have been some type of energy there that night, the last time I was here, when it was being triggered, because it was going crazy. And that's so interesting, because aside from that one night where I had all that activity with it, it had only ever triggered once before in the same spot, and I got a big flash all the way to the top into the red, and then it dropped, and then there was nothing. And all the investigations I've done here, it's pretty much always been in that spot. I've never ever had a single flicker from it. So, but I don't know what to make of it now. I don't know whether I feel a little bit of trepidation just from being in here when it's light, or whether it is just something about this place, the energy is making me feel this way. I'm guessing it's probably a mixture of the two, but I certainly felt it more when I came into this area. But it is an incredible structure. I need to maybe research and find out exactly the types of usage this area experienced, because no doubt it changed loads over hundreds of years, maybe, you know. And bearing in mind this place was raided as well. It wasn't just this lovely tranquil place where all the servants of God came to lock themselves away from the stresses of what was going on in land, but with all the border reavers and all that type of stuff, and all the groups of wars between various tribes and things, this place was raided loads by the Vikings as well. So just like all this coastline was. So anyway, enough history. Okay, well, I'm going to stop recording for a while. I'm just going to sit in silence and just gather my thoughts. But this is quite a similar night to what it was like. I always do that, don't I? I say I'm going to stop recording, and then I just continue on with put a little test on there with some grass. And there's basically no wind tonight. Even less than when I was here last time. There was a touch last time, but Yeah, it looks like there's not a bit. Okay, I'll be back. Do I have anybody with me tonight? I think you might recognize me. I've been a few times. If anyone is with me, could you give me a sign that you're here? I just saw a fox run past. I've been quite a few times, and sometimes you communicate with me. Other times you don't. And I just don't know what tonight is going to be, whether I'll be here on my own, or maybe you can give me a sign that you're here. Try to communicate with me. If you are with me, could you stand over there next to where you can see the green dot? How about if you are here, could you show me a sign and move some of the things over there? I know you did that last time. Maybe I'm here a little too early. I just have a feeling that, yeah, you're not whoever you are, or however many of you there are, maybe none of you are with me tonight. Okay, yeah, very quiet. Yeah, and it doesn't feel, other than that first few seconds when I came in here, where I just felt a notable change just in the feeling here. It just felt different. It almost now just feels like it is one of those typically really serene, peaceful nights where there will be no activity. It will be very quiet. But that's very interesting, though, that there's been no activity on the EMF. Maybe if you are here, please do something here. Pick up one of these balls, throw it towards me. I can't make out the feeling tonight. What time is it now? Yeah, it's 9:30 now, so. And I have adjusted my settings, which according to AI, or the optimal settings for the GoPro Hero 12 in low light for paranormal investigations. So I'd be very interested, because some of the last videos I did recorded in 5.3 they've just looked so blocky, even though they've been set up supposedly for the best low light nighttime recording. But yeah, GoPros are crap anyway for low light stuff. But I am going to pick up that new GoPro Mission 1 because apparently it's got a great lens, and I'm going to have that in time for autumn. I believe the Creator Pack comes out in September in the UK, so I am going to get one of those in time for the autumn paranormal season. But yeah, I'll be interested, because like I say, I have fiddled with the settings on this, and some of the videos I seem to get really nice blacks, and then other ones, even though it's in like 10-bit and then 5.3K, yeah, it just looks really patchy, like white blocks moving around with black blocks, and it's awful. And that's even with the light on, and even when I focus in on some of the brickwork. But I mean, the light is, I've just turned on the light on the GoPro, and to be fair, it is still very light. I mean, we're nowhere near dark, but this video should look a lot better even in these low light conditions. Could you please try to give me a sign if you are here? Is anyone here with me? Okay, I'm going to pause it for a while. I'll come back. Okay, so I have set up the REM pod over here now as well. It's still enough. I'm confident that there isn't enough breeze or anything to give any false positives on that. So there's quite a bit of equipment over here. And yeah, it's been about 15 minutes since the last video. No signs of anything. It's been very quiet. Still very light, and I think it's going to be light for another 30 minutes or so. But I'm not going to be out too late. I've got a busy week this week. This is just a quick one, quick investigation. I'll probably stay here for about another 45 minutes at the very most, and then I'm going to call it a day. But it's interesting because, yeah, I've never been here when it's still been low light conditions like this, even though it is, like I say, around 9:30 now, 9:40 I think it'll be. Beautiful, serene, and so quiet. And nothing on the EMF. That is fascinating. It's fascinating to know how much that was going off on that last video. Yeah, that's, yeah, I think, yeah, I must have picked something up. It must have picked something up. All the times that's been there, and I've never ever had it triggered. And it was being triggered all night. It was incredible. And this is the beauty of this. This is just another attempt to go out, go to a place, put an hour in, put an hour and a half in. And yeah, just to see what, if anything, can be recorded. And And I've had many late nights. I'm going to post this video, the whole video, because I've had many nights like this where I think nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be a beautiful night, but it just feels flat tonight. And then other nights when I've been here, there's been quite a bit going on. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I would start to definitely question it if I was coming here. And there was all kinds of stuff happening, you know. There's only once I've caught something on video here, which was definitively, in my view, something unexplainable. And then other times we've had equipment that has been triggered. Taking it all together, yeah. Like I say, it was crazy. It all stemmed as well. This whole thing all stemmed from what's always been an interest in the paranormal, but never enough to I've gone out to some castles and things, but never enough to go and do investigations. And then I had that experience in my home when I was with my ex-girlfriend, and I wish she could have seen it. I'll never forget it, but she was awake, and but she wouldn't look outside of the bedroom. And I wish she did, because then I could say that not just me saw these flashing balls 3 times, but I saw them, like I was fully awake. And the crazy thing that I've always questioned, it took me months to question this, what I'm about to say, but was why we felt so comfortable enough to go back to sleep. Even though I had seen this, when I opened the door, I'd seen this ball flash, this red orange ball just flash. And I went to the bathroom, it happened again. I could see the light come through. Then I got back into bed, and then it happened a 3rd time, but almost as if it was downstairs, halfway down the stairs. And like I say, my ex-girlfriend, she was too terrified, bless her, to lift her head up. And but if only she could have done. But what was strange, because I've just digressed, was why we both felt so calm to just go back to sleep. Because I would have thought to myself, if someone had put that situation to me and said, oh, you're going to witness something, but then you're just going to go straight back to sleep, I would have said, that's impossible. It's impossible. I would be up, I would have my phone on, and I would be making a tea, and I'd be investigating, I'd be looking for things. I'd be wired, you know, like, what the hell has just gone on? But no, it was like back into bed and out like a light. And then for the next few days, she had to put up with me going on Amazon and buying all this stuff. And then I've been doing this ever since. I thought I'd start coming here just because, yeah, it was one of the places among others that I was going to. And then I had some activity here as well, very early on with that video of the face. So this has become like a little project when I'm back home. But yeah, there's been nothing ever again take place in my house. Nothing, no strangeness. What I will say as well, which was very odd, for the next few nights, the hallway was pitch black. And I thought, because normally I always see the residual light from the street lamp come in through the porch, and then through the porch door, and then onto the hallway. And I thought, wow, that's unusually dark. The street light is obviously out. And I opened the bedroom curtains. No, it was perfectly normal, just as it normally is. And that lasted, I think, for 2 or 3 evenings. Whereas very late at night, 4 in the morning, I remember a couple of times I did get up to use the bathroom, I seem to remember, over that 2 or 3 day period. And the hallway was like inky black. But the light was perfectly normal outside. And then, yeah, the light levels in the hallway came back to normal. So I don't know how you explain that, but that was an interesting part to the whole experience as well. So anyway, that is a digression, but yeah, a useful one, some context. The last time I was here, you were stood here in this area. You were definitely here. You were making a sign that you were here. But I think tonight, no one is with me. I feel like it's probably me tonight. There's something in me that can't communicate with you, perhaps. Maybe I'm not connecting with you tonight. When I first came, I felt like there was a chance that I could, but since I've been here, everything just feels, well, it feels like I'm alone. Maybe you could try to give me a small sign. Could you maybe make a noise, knock somewhere, make a knocking noise? If there's a way you could move any of these things, please do. Yeah, it feels very quiet tonight. The only thing I feel is probably just myself, making myself feel a little bit fluttery, a little bit sort of, you know, when you get the chills that run through your body. You know, it is a bit cold, but yeah, I just felt a few occasions of that, almost like a chill came over me, but I don't know whether that was me doing that to myself or not. I think it was more likely was. But there's been no activity, and it is getting dark now, but I'm not going to stay too much longer. I just wanted to trial this one tonight, come when it was still light, and just see if anything was gonna come off. But yeah, not a single thing's been triggered. I have seen a couple of foxes, which has been nice, but yeah, just a very peaceful late spring evening. But I'll keep trying, I'll keep coming. I've just seen something come down there that might have been like a dandelion seed or something. But I definitely saw almost like a thing just drop down, which I'm going to assume was a seed that's just been kind of blowing around. It might show up on camera because it did kind of come down here, but it might not. But as ever with these things, I am always very interested just to check the footage afterwards and just to see if anything's been picked up. Because that first thing that I did pick up, the strange face, I didn't see that when I was recording because I must have been too busy looking at my the spirit box thing. And each and every video I've done ever since, yeah, I've scanned it, checked it, and I've never seen anything. So, well, this is the reality of it. But that EMF meter has just not blipped once. Which, in a way, I'm really happy about. Because it just reinforces the fact that maybe last time, yeah, that was, there was something real that was triggering that right across the evening, you know. And then that even went quiet. But yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it a day there because my GoPro battery is about to go as well. And I just want to save a bit of battery in case anything does come up. So, okay, I'm going to leave it then. See ya. Okay, well, this is definitely the final goodbye video because there's been nothing happening. So I'm just going to take one last walk around the site and then pack the equipment up and head on. Still a lot of light. There is still a lot of light. Beauty about being so high latitudes, you do get these beautiful extended sort of spring, summer evenings right into autumn. But yeah, look at that, nothing at all. Nothing at all. So, one last walk around in case anything gets picked up on the camera, but every now and then I just felt like there was maybe a little cold spot down over here, but no, that's, I don't think there's anything going on there. I'm not going to read too much into that. Certainly not outdoors anyway. God, I just thought I saw a flash there. Maybe I'm, again. But anyway, anytime I see or think I see or hear something, I'm always going to note it in the video so at least I can reference it. And at least then publicly, I do look like an idiot as well as privately. But yeah, super quiet. Right, well, one last attempt. Okay, well, I came to see you to try to communicate, to see if you could come spend some time with me. But it looks like you didn't want to do that tonight, so I'm going to go. And then maybe the next time I come, it would be nice if we could contact each other again and give me a sign that you are with me.